94.5 Mix FM, best mix of yesterday and today to get your Thursday started off right. Christy and I very excited for a night of music that is going to be at the McDonald Theater. It's changed from the Cuthbert. Toad the Wet Sprocket with Sixpence None the Richer. And we've got Dean Denning from Toad with us this morning.
How you doing?
Excellent, thank you.
So I love getting the story behind band names. Recently, we interviewed Andy McCluskey, lead singer of Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, and asked him, where'd the name come from? He's like, we just thought we would be pretentious. Okay, now it's your turn. Toad the Wet Sprocket. For those that have not heard the story before, where did the name come from?
I had heard that name on the Monty Python sketch called Rock Notes. You can find it on the internet. Just look up Rock Notes Monty Python. And the line with Toad the Wet Sprocket was the first line in the sketch. And I thought that was the funniest name I'd ever heard. These guys that I was playing with, Todd and Glenn and Randy, they were really indecisive about coming up with a name, and we had our first gig coming up, and they wanted to put it in the paper, and we didn't know what to tell them, and I thought it would be funny to put Toad the Wet Sprocket, and I would love to say that it just stuck, but it got stuck in the way that something you step in on the sidewalk gets stuck to your shoe.
Well, we had the opportunity one time to talk to Mark Bryan from Hootie and the Blowfish, and we asked him if Hootie and the Blowfish was the best band name of the 90s, and he's like, oh no, there are two that are better. That would be the Goo Goo Dolls and Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Hey!
You know what? I really appreciate Mark's perspective on things because he helps me check my head. So I will thank him personally.
Well, I am super excited to see you all with Sixpence None the Richer when you make your way into Eugene. Is this the first time that you've ever toured with that band?
It is. Well, see, that's an interesting thing because it is our first time touring with Sixpence as a band. They recently put their band back together. I think people's kids are grown and away at college or out of the house, and they said, let's give it another go. It sounds like fun. I mean, Kiss Me is one of those songs that is such the perfect melding of singer and song, and even just the song itself. You know what song it is just when you hear the intro. They did a great cover of Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House. I mean, you can really get a feel for what the band is like by the music they've chosen to cover. And also, they have some terrific new music. They just put out a live album. I think people are really going to like what they hear.
Well, Dean, hang with us because I want to get the story of how Toad the Wet Sprocket ended up on Friends and a lot of other like 90s and 2000s movies and TV shows. But let's go ahead and play that song you were just talking about from the opening act when you guys come to the McDonald Theater July the 23rd. Here is Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me. It's 94.5 Mix FM with Chad and Christy. Good morning.
Sixpence None the Richer with Kiss Me.
94.5 Mix FM, best mix of yesterday and today. It is your morning mix. Chad and Christy, Sixpence None the Richer there and Kiss Me. They're going to be in concert at the McDonald Theater with Toad the Wet Sprocket on July the 23rd. Dean Denning from Toad is with us this morning. Now, you mentioned they had a breakup, got back together. You guys kind of did the same thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. The story I've heard is that it was Adam Duritz of Counting Crows that wanted you all to open for them on tour, but they said it had to be Toad the Wet Sprocket back together, so he was the one that did it.
That is exactly what happened, and it's really a perfect story in a way because I don't know if you know this, but we had a snail mail mailing list. That's how long our band's been around. Because, you know, back before people like you started playing us on the radio, we thought we might never get played on the radio, and we wanted to have an alternate way for people to find out if we were playing near them. And one of the people on our original email list was none other than Mr. Adam Duritz.
Get out of here.
He knew what the key was, and he twisted it.
So what Christy and I love is that our daughter really wants to go see a lot of the bands that meant something to us. And when I said, hey, Toad the Wet Sprocket is coming on July 23rd, do you want to go? And she's like, yes, I know them. They're on the Friends soundtrack.
Absolutely correct. I mean, that's the name of our tour this year is the Good Intentions Tour. Good Intentions was the single off of the Friends soundtrack.
Yep.
Courtney Cox was in the video. I mean, it was a great thing to be a part of.
Well, and your music's been in Dawson's Creek, and I know what you did last summer. Something I've always been curious about, though, when a TV show or a movie soundtrack is going to use your music, do they have to ask your permission, or do you just, you're in the middle of watching a movie, oh, there it is?
We are always asked. And, you know, sometimes we used to go down, and a couple of times we went to a screening of the film. I remember we were in, do you remember a movie called So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Oh, yeah. Heed, pants, now.
Exactly. That movie was the movie that Mike Myers did right before Austin Powers. But we had a song in that one, and we said, this sounds like a really weird movie. Is there a way that we could go to a screening? So they arranged a screening of the movie for us, and we went and we said, God, this is really funny. This is probably really going to work. And so we said, absolutely, yes. Sometimes we don't need to. Like Friends was a kind of a no-brainer. We had a cover of a Beatles tune in I Know What You Did Last Summer. We had actually 2 songs on Dawson's Creek. And now our music continues to get used in film and TV, especially if someone wants to establish the fact that a flashback scene is taking place in 1993. Nothing says that more efficiently than using a Toad song.
Well, let's wrap up our chat by playing the big song from the Friends soundtrack, Good Intentions, from Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Dean Denning from Toad the Wet Sprocket, thanks for being with us. We'll see you with Sixpence None the Richer, McDonald Theater, July 23rd.
It's been a pleasure. We're really looking forward to the show, and it's going to be a wonderful evening.